I'm Nancy Waldeck, and I am a healthy chef partyologist. And I'm here today with Springer Mountain Farms Chicken to show you a really great recipe for a Tuscan roasted tomato chicken. Let's get started with our tomato sauce. So first of all, I need to put in a little bit of oil and a little bit of butter in my pan. I'm going to turn on my heat to about medium-high, and I'm going to get that butter melted along with the oil before I put in those beautiful red onions. So I can start with my onions. About 6 cups of onions, which sounds like a lot until you think about, that's probably about 2 big onions. So right in there, and you're going to hear the sizzle as it goes into my pan. All right, there's my onions to start off with, and I'm going to cook those down. I don't have to stir constantly, but I'm going to cook them down for about 2 or 3 minutes before I put my next ingredient in. This Tuscan roasted tomato chicken is so good for us because it starts with members of the allium family, and that's things like onions and my next ingredient, which is garlic. Garlic is great for us. It's on the top of any anti-cancer list, and it's going to make this taste truly Tuscan. This garlic is grated and it's very soft, so it's going to melt right into the onions. So here goes the garlic. We only need to cook it as long as it takes for it to become aromatic. In just a minute, it's going to smell so good, and it's going to really incorporate into those onions. My onions are starting to get beautiful and soft, and now the garlic smells so good. Turning my heat down just a little bit, I'm ready to put the rest of my ingredients in. So here we go. I've got some red peppers. These are gorgeous red peppers. Oh my gosh, everybody's gardens are overflowing with them in the summer. So there goes the red peppers right in. About 3 15-ounce cans of fire roasted tomatoes. And here we go. We're just going to let this burble along on the cooktop over about medium heat for about 30 minutes. That's going to allow those red peppers to break down and get soft and all the different flavors to incorporate. All right, so now while our tomato sauce is cooking down, we're going to move over and do our chicken. Chicken's super easy. We're just going to put a little bit more butter in our pan, about a tablespoon. And I've got my heat on about medium-high. And now the remaining olive oil, about a tablespoon, right into the pan along with the butter. Our butter and olive oil are almost melted together, so we're ready to start putting in our chicken. Before I do that, I want to season our chicken with a little bit of sea salt and freshly ground black pepper. Always season our beautiful Springer Mountain Farms chicken with salt and pepper before we cook it. That allows us to build layers of flavor. And you know, even though we don't think so in the United States often, salt and pepper are really spices and can add a lot of flavor. All right, so here goes our chicken into our pan. And there we go. That's what we want to hear, that beautiful sizzling sound. 2 pounds, depending on how big the thighs are typically about a package or maybe a package and a half. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chicken thighs here, which is about 2 pounds. Now what I'm going to do is let the chicken hang out in the skillet until it gets golden brown. I'm not trying to cook it all the way through. I just want it to get that nice caramelized crust on the outside, so in a few minutes I can put it into our tomato sauce. Okay, so the chicken has been hanging out on one side for about 3 or 4 minutes. So now it's going to be easy to turn it over and look at that browned chicken on the other side. Ooh, it looks so good. Time for our chicken to go into the beautiful tomato sauce. So I'm going to turn the chicken off, and now I'm just going to take that beautifully browned chicken and tuck it into the tomato sauce. This is going to allow the chicken to finish cooking off to about 165. All our chicken is in now. We have 2 more ingredients before we can let it cook away on the stove top for about 30 minutes. Those 2 ingredients are a little chicken broth to add just even a little bit more moisture, and some deep red wine. We want something with a lot of good acidity in it, like a Chianti. So we're going right for that whole Tuscan experience. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. And now I'm going to let it hang out on the stovetop for just about 30 minutes. The chicken will cook through, the peppers will melt down, and it will turn into a beautiful sauce. We're going to serve it over some Tuscan roasted potatoes a little later. Our tomato roasted chicken has been cooking away for about 30 minutes, so it's time to finish it off. We're going to put 2 things in before we plate it up and get to enjoy it. Those 2 things are about a handful of parsley, basil, and oregano. Next, we're going to put in some capers. They're going to add a really nice pickle quality, which will make it taste wonderful. All right, about a half a cup of capers in there. I'm going to stir it all together. The herbs and the capers are going to add a bright quality to this chicken and tomatoes that have been cooking down on the stove. And look at the color. We eat with our eyes first, so it's going to look really appetizing to your guests. I've got a plate here with some roasted fingerling potatoes. I'm going to put our chicken and some of that gorgeous sauce right on top. And there we go. This is my Tuscan roasted tomato chicken. It's in the Taste and Savor Life cookbook. You can find the recipe at springermtn.com. And we're going to dig in just a moment. Thanks so much. See you next time.